Hi everyone. Okay, so I am posting a little bit later than what I had wanted to do today, but I actually got busy with quite a few bookings myself. So I want to go over actually a large bit of stuff today, and I don't know if it's going to end up in one video or if it'll end up being multiple videos. So I'm going to kind of go through it, and if I need to cut it short and separate the content, I will. But the topics that I'm going to cover today is first and foremost, I'm going to do an update with some of the stuff that I'm doing, how I've gotten sort of a slew of bookings between today and yesterday, what I've been doing on my end. And then another thing that I want to talk about is this gigantic opportunity that I think Turo has right now, but we have to be so on point in order for that to happen. And then after that, I'm going to go over some messaging that I got from Turo today, an update on their Power Host Summit that is supposed to take place tomorrow. And then finally, I'm going to jump into kind of what I'm seeing done in the industry in terms of SBA loans and help for people that might find themselves in a hard position if this thing kind of goes on for a couple months and we really feel the effects of it on our business. So I'm going to jump right into these topics. But before I do, if you do like this channel, please be sure to subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that you know when I post these videos in real time. I'm also available for the first 15 to 20 minutes after posting videos. I do answer questions after that too, but I can guarantee that in that first little time frame, I'll be there in real time answering any questions. So definitely subscribe, support me, and I will support you guys to the best of my ability. Okay, so first let me start off with this. I really believe that as a community, we are going to be each other's help until there is some strong, concrete help from, any party, whether it's Turo or government or whatever it might be. But for the foreseeable future, I see us being each other's help, and I see that sort of being the best remedy to work through this. So just remember that we are each other's help. So your feedback within the community and on these videos is really valuable. So do share your experience, do comment in, let us know what you're experiencing, ask questions so that as a community we can kind of work through this. Okay, so on that note, let's go with what I think is a huge opportunity right now. Let me just pull this up. So right now I'm in Southern California, and we know that in San Francisco, a shelter-in-place mandate has already taken into effect. I believe it went into effect yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And basically what that resulted in was only essential businesses staying open. So essential businesses were restaurants, grocery stores, pharmacies, anything really that's necessary, medical. Banks, I believe, were on the list as well. So it kind of got me thinking like, I wonder if enterprise locations are open. So I did a quick search in San Francisco to see if any of their locations were open, and they are closed. And that made me realize that this is a huge, huge, huge opportunity for a marketplace like Turo to really leave a footprint in this industry, in this market, and really have this be a time where as hosts we're really able to serve the needs of people. If anyone right now needs a car, it's because they really need a car, and this is such a great time for people like us who have these resources, cars, to help people who really need them right now. It's a great way to help society during a hard time. It's a great way for us to keep our businesses alive, and it is a gigantic opportunity for Turo to make a strong hold in this marketplace, because right now enterprise is being classified as a non-essential business. They have to shut down during these mandates. These mandates are likely going to ripple across the country as the days go on. If San Francisco already got hit, I'm guessing that by tomorrow or Friday, we're going to hear this for LA County, and after LA County, here in Orange County, we're next. So this is going to start trickling across, especially as the weeks go on and the situation kind of intensifies and the numbers look scarier. And so just to contain all of this, we can definitely anticipate for that to happen. And this goes back to my last video that I posted. With this being such a big opportunity for Turo hosts, the thing that I can't believe that Turo's not already doing, and if I was them, this is literally, if I was Turo leadership, this is the messaging that I would be putting out. I would be doing my best to put out guidelines. And I mean, of course, I don't know what their liability looks like. I understand that, especially with them being headquartered in San Francisco, like a lot of other companies, you know, they're probably scrambling in their personal lives, making sure that their families are safe, that they're home, that they have enough supplies while this mandate lasts, and that they're comfortable in their personal sense, and that they're healthy and they're safe. And then secondly, to have to shift a company to move over to work from home, that's another shift in itself. So I think probably within the organization, they probably have a lot going on. And I understand that. But nonetheless, if us hosts, if we're experiencing these mass cancellations, which we are, we know that from all the contribution that we've gotten from the community, that means that Turo is losing tons of money as well. They really rely on us. So if I was Turo leadership, the very first thing that I would be putting into effect is really marketing and playing off of this word called contactless operations. We literally have all these other companies already doing the marketing for us. They're already paying the money to plant this seed in people's minds. Our governments are doing the same thing with social distancing, telling people that if you are going to go out to the restaurants, you can only do drive-through or carry out. So this contactless idea is being pushed so heavily, and as Turo hosts, we need to use that to our advantage during this time. Turo already has the advantage because they have systems like Turo Go in place, which a lot of hosts have. And if you don't have it, they did push out the virtual version of it, which is available to your cars that are eligible for it. And that is something you can see under your host hub. And literally you can activate that right now. There's nothing that you need to wait for. There is an area in there that says, oh, you want to wait till you get your package in the mail, but that package doesn't have anything in it. It's like a little baggie. I have it sitting right here. I'm going to grab it for you guys. It's literally a little baggie. The baggie looks like this, that they want you to put in the car. It has some instructions in it. It has a place where you can put your key, some guest guidelines, and that's it. But that's not something that we need to wait for in order to activate Turo Go. If your car is eligible, you should do it so that you can really benefit off of this contactless operations, okay? So if I was Turo leadership, this is what I would be pushing. I would be pushing out guidelines to my entire host community and telling them to update their descriptions, specifically using this word and emphasizing contactless check-ins and check-outs, virtual check-ins and check-outs for the people who don't have Turo Go, and providing guidelines for that, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, and how to properly manage that so that you are protecting yourself from any claims risks that you might have. But at the same time, we are optimizing our listings during a time when we need it the most, okay? So I'm going to give you guys some examples of what my messaging today was with my guests. Today, I had 4 new bookings, 4 brand new bookings, last minute bookings, all of them multi-day bookings, which I was so surprised that I got these. I was not anticipating this. Yesterday, I got 2 new bookings. So majority of my cars are actually out right now, which I'm shocked that that's the case. All of them local bookings. Everyone is from the area. Every single booking that I did contactless, of course, to protect the safety of others and my own. I'm making sure that I don't meet with people. What I can do is actually pull up my Turo and I can read to you guys the messaging that I'm putting out to my guests whenever they come to pick up a car. So I'm going to give you an example of a car that doesn't have a Turo Go, which is like my Polaris Slingshot, for example, that went out this morning. So what I did was I messaged the guy and I let him know that, hey, these are steps that I need you to take prior to picking up the car, and then I'll provide you guidance. I'll just read it to you really quick. Okay, so this is what I said. I said, hi, Bob. For everyone's safety, I'm doing contactless pickups and drop-offs. I'll have the car parked for you, and I mentioned where it was and the address. If you can please go ahead and upload a copy of your insurance and license to your reservation page under trip photos, that would be great. Once you arrive, go ahead and let me know, and I'll give you a quick walkthrough on the car. So prior to his reservation, I reached out to him. I let him know exactly what he could expect, told him where the car was parked. I waited for him to upload a copy of his insurance, which is what I request for now, and a copy of his license to the trip photos. Now you can ask people to take a selfie with their licenses. That's usually the best protocol to do. So I had him do that. Once I saw that that was up there, I actually made a quick walk around video because the Polaris is somewhat of a specialty car of exactly what he needed to do. And so when I saw that he uploaded everything, I went ahead, I shot him a text message with a video of everything he needs to know about the car, where the key was, and he was all set to go. I told him, go ahead and do your check-in and you're all set. Car's washed, clean, full tank of gas, so on and so on. Made the whole process so seamless and easy. He had no questions. He found everything easily and he was ready to go. So that has been my messaging pretty consistently with all of my guests. I have not met a single one of my guests. And in this climate, that is what people want. That is the new experience. So we must pivot to that. Contactless handoffs, check-ins and checkouts, contactless rentals, because that is not something an enterprise right now, or at least most locations, can provide. And if they have to shut down business, this is where we can step in and really provide that value to the marketplace, and especially during a time of great need. No one's renting your car because they're going on a trip or they're going on vacation or they have plans. They need it because they need it for essential driving, whatever that might be, whether that's because they need to go to the grocery store or help out family members, whatever it is. So I know a lot of people mention wear and tear and taking on extra risk. I actually think it's the contrary. I think wear and tear is going to be absolutely minimal because people are not traveling. The roads and freeways are empty, and maybe that varies by location, but I can at least speak for my area, Southern California, that is absolutely the case. And I actually think risk is lower because there's no cars on the road. So they're not really surrounded by as much risk as they normally would be surrounded by. So for me, that's how I view it. Now, of course, there are some people out there, for you, it's probably maybe a more comfortable situation to just wait it out for a couple months and maybe take down your listings or snooze them, and that's totally fine. Again, it always depends on what your goals are and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. For some people, this is just kind of an extra side gig. If you make money on it, great, and if you don't, that's great. For other people like myself, this is a full-blown business. We have small fleets, larger fleets, and we really want to make sure that we want to generate revenue whenever the opportunity is there. And I think right now, based on the results that I've seen with my own listings, the opportunity is still there. The local bookings are still there and people need them and they need help. So even offering that lower pricing is just a way of really helping someone else out while still having some cash flow coming in through your business. So that's kind of what I've been experiencing. If you follow my new Instagram account, which is at Saimah's Experience, I've been posting screenshots of my new bookings. I have been getting cancellations as well. So not to say that I'm not getting cancellations, I am a large amount, but I'm very surprised to see new bookings coming in, and that's been great, and I've been really happy about that. So that's kind of where my thought process is right now. And like I said in my last video, please do look at my listings. The link to my listings is in my description down below, and you can see how I've configured my listings and how I'm making sure that I convey that message across, whether it's through the description or the photos. And on a final note about that, for any hosts out there that are renting out their cars, if you don't have the supplies to sanitize your cars or to properly clean them during this time, and you don't feel confident that they are clean and safe for people to drive, then absolutely, I think that you should not rent out your cars, snooze your listings or whatever it might be, pull them down for the time being, because we do want to make sure that we're ensuring the safety of ourselves and others. And you need to disinfect before and after every single trip. I wear gloves before I get into the car. I disinfect everything. I wipe down everything before I actually touch anything with my bare hands or, even breathe in anything. So I usually disinfect, leave the car for a minute, and then get in it and get it all clean. All right, so from there, I'm gonna sort of segue over to some messaging that I received from Turo. Okay, so really interesting. I had reached out to my account manager a couple of days ago just to see if he had any insight for me as to what Turo's leadership had in mind, because of course there is a little bit of frustration out there that we haven't really heard anything from Turo's leadership, aside from that email that we received on the 5th about the extenuating circumstances, which makes sense. That's in their terms of service, as it is for many companies that are out there. But yeah, I was really quite surprised that at this late in the stage of everything that's been going on, that we really haven't heard even till now anything from their main leadership, from the CEO, any form of really guidance. So when I reached out to my account manager, he got back to me today. And of course, in all transparency, as I try to report on things with being as unbiased as possible, what I can speak on is the feel that I got from what I've seen so far. It seems like they're scrambling and that they're trying to figure it out. And again, I understand it to an extent because they are on a lockdown, but I'm also surprised that they haven't done a better job, especially from their leadership, to really reach out to their host community. So anywho, the first email that I got from my account manager was, I think maybe something that he put together. I'm not really too sure. But basically, it was a list of things that could be helpful in this time and in this situation. I'll just kind of go through them a little bit. The first one was calling your major banks for deferments. The second one was something that we've been hearing on the news a lot. If you owe IRS payments, you can defer them up to $1 million. Interest-free, penalty-free for 90 days. So something that the government is enacting. California state taxes. There's a few things being pushed back here as well. And then Turo, like most travel industries, will be appealing to the government for help. And then Turo tips. Under here we have he just sort of linked the Turo cancellation and extenuating circumstances policy, which we saw on March 5th. And then he added to put in your listings about how and what level you're sanitizing your cars. And then it says 75% of all trips booked in the LA market area are done within 12 hours notice or less, so open up your availability. And finally, use discounts. So basically, a lot of what was on here is what I've already talked about in my previous videos. So that was a list that I received. Then following that, as we know, the Turo Power Host Summit was scheduled for tomorrow, and as of this morning, it was still scheduled for tomorrow as they had sent out the reminders. But we just got word that they will be postponing it and that we will be receiving an email from the CEO of Turo regarding COVID-19 by tomorrow. And so basically they're saying that I'll just read it to you guys. As the COVID-19 crisis has intensified over the last few days, we have decided to postpone the Power Host Summit until April 2nd. We know that our hosts are focused on their health and safety and livelihood, for which they depend on Turo. In light of that, we want to make sure that we deliver content geared towards navigating this challenging time and how Turo plans to support our hosts. We decided to postpone because we need more time to develop meaningful content on these topics. And then it was just feel free to contact me type of thing. So that's kind of what the messaging from Turo has been as of late. So we'll see what that email looks like tomorrow. But from the looks of it, it sounds like they still need more time to kind of pull it together and to put some things in place that could be really useful to the host community. And so like I said in the beginning of this video, we are going to be each other's help until there is some concrete help that arrives, especially for the people that need the help, for the people that depend on this, for the people that are seeing dramatic decreases in business. Please, I urge you to watch my 2 previous videos. The first one was in detail about how to defer payments in the event that you need to. Maybe it's not now and maybe it's not next month. Maybe it's a couple months from now because of the uncertainty of how long this is all going to take, and really what the long-term economic effects are going to be with the conditions that we are in. We just don't know. We don't know how long it's going to take, number one, to get out of this, and then number two, for the market to pick back up. So we're just going to have to wait and see. So you want to know what your options are so that later on a decision doesn't have to be made for you, and that you still have the choice of what to do. And so we all just need to hang in there. So watch that video. And then after that, I did a video where I did a series of steps to follow in order to survive during this crisis with your Turo business, and really how to amplify your listings, make them robust, add value. And please let me be an example. And I'm not kidding you guys. Look at my Instagram. You will see the bookings that I have received. Yesterday, I got 2 new bookings. Today, I got 4. Today is Wednesday. Wednesday is not notorious for getting a lot of new last minute bookings. So there are people out there in your local market. And finally, I was going to go into the SBA loans and some government support, but what I'll do is I will stop this video and then I will separate that, and then that will go into kind of what I think, what type of support and what the SBA process looks like as far as my knowledge goes. So on that note, guys, that is it for me for now. I hope that you guys find this useful, and please really leverage that contactless booking ability. It's literally the one thing that sets us apart from other rental companies, and it's going to allow us to really create a large foothold in this marketplace when this is all said and done. People are going to appreciate that, and these people will come back and they will rent from you again in the future. Just think about it. The seeds that you're planting now are so that they can grow later on and turn into even better business for you, better revenue for you at a later stage when all of this gets better. You still want to bring in those bookings, those reviews, and provide value to people, especially in a time when they really need it. So if you guys could, I think something that would be really helpful is if you're a host on the platform, if you can comment down below, one being what area you're in, what type of cars you have. So whether that's like standard, midsize, fuel efficient, or luxury, whatever it might be. Let us know where you are, the type of cars you have, what type of cancellations and what type of incoming bookings you're experiencing, so we can get an idea for how the different markets are responding to what's going on, and it'll likely help somebody out in your area. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Saimah. This is Saimah's Experience, and if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll get back to them as quickly as I can. And I'm with you guys in every way that I possibly can be, and hopefully this content is helpful to you guys. Take care, guys, and then I'll be back with another video on SBA loans and government support. Bye, guys.